Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past. When we last left off, we had just gotten the Pendant of Courage from the Eastern Palace. Now let's head back to the Village Elder and learn more about the Master Sword and get that item that he said he'd promised us. What's the item? Well, we'll find out in a little bit. Oh, you got the Pendant of Courage. Now I will tell you more of the legend. 3 or 4 generations ago, an order of royal knights defended Hyrule. And unfortunately, most of them were destroyed in the war against evil. And among their descendants, a hero will appear. And that appear is apparently us. And he gives us this treasure passed down from the knights. And a helpful item is hidden on the eastern shore of Lake Hylia. We should get it. Now, we don't have to go there to get this item, but it will make the boss of the next dungeon easier, so I went a little faster, of course, because, like I said, I can read faster when I'm just looking at it than I can speak. But basically, Sahasrahla said that long ago when the wise men were sealing the evil power from the Dark Land, the knights basically protected them. And much of the knights were wiped out while doing that, protecting the wise men from the evil monsters that were coming from the Dark Land. And however, even though most of them were wiped out, the prophecy said that a hero will come from one of their survivors, and he believes that hero is us. And he thinks that the only way to prove that, of course, is to get the remaining 2 pendants. And he gives us an item, and we get another fortune here. We'll open the desert lock with the Book of Mudora. Okay. What's the Book of Mudora? Maybe it's that book in the library. So, well, anyway, he gives us an item that's going to help us, the Pegasus Boots. Once we have the Pegasus Boots, we can dash. Just hold the A button down for a little bit, and then Felfel will run across the screen really fast until he hits something. So he can damage enemies when he runs into them, but more importantly, he can now dash into trees and other objects and open them up. We dash in that tree there, we get a fairy. We dash into this row of blocks, and we get a bunch of fairies. So I'll be showing off all the different trees that you can run into in this game to get hidden items. Some of them change depending on where you are at the game. So sometimes I'll be making return visits to run into a different tree. Here we have a block that we can blow up, a rock. And we have this rabbit. See, he's jumping around in the grass there. If we clear out a whole bunch of the grass and he appears in an area right there where we cut the grass, he tells us, hey, take this thief. And he gives us an item. It can be a rupee, an arrow, a bomb, or a heart. So we got a heart there. So got all these archers hanging out. We got some green archers there. That's another rarity. We now that's not a tree, it's a statue, but if we run into that tree with the boots, a fairy pops out. So there's a few different things that can pop out of trees. Fairies, rupees, bees, which you can collect in a bug catching net, or apples, which basically are hearts. So let's go into this structure here. Push the blocks outside, we get some more bombs. I'm gonna leave this structure and head back in. And this time, instead of pushing the blocks away to get to the chest, we're gonna push the blocks away to get to the door. And we have 2 switches here. We pull the left one, and it's another trap. But instead of snakes dropping on us, like in the sanctuary, it's bombs. But if we pull the right one, we drain the lake. And inside the lake, we can get a heart container piece, and we get some flopping fish. Now, if you pick up a fish, there's 2 things you can do with the fish. You can take the fish to water, and if you throw the fish in the water, it'll throw a red ruby out. I don't know why it didn't do that there. I'm going to redo it here. The other thing you can do is you can take the fish to the merchant, where we got that one bottle from, the second bottle. And if you give him the fish, he buys it off of you for 21 rupees, 8 bombs, 10 arrows, and a large magic container. So it refills your magic entirely. So, yeah, it's if you want to take that time out, and I'll do that a little bit later, to take a fish to that merchant, he rewards you pretty well, especially early in the game. So Let's hope this fish is a little less stingy. We don't want to get hit by anything because then we drop the fish and we'll have to pick him up again. So, yeah, if we take the fish, throw him in water, hey, he pops out and takes some rubies, but don't tell anyone. Well, I'm telling everybody who's watching my video, so sorry, fish. So now let's head to the east of Lake Hylia and get that item that the Sahasrahla was talking about. So pick up a bomb. We can throw bombs. Let's open up that cave, but we're not gonna go in that cave yet. It's kind of tricky, and there's gonna be an item that we're gonna get. Not the item that Sahasrahla is talking about, but we're gonna get another item over here that'll make that cave really easy. So here's like a weird balloon enemy. It's the only one in the game. He blows up in a bunch of tiny little balloon enemies. And we're gonna have to come back here later because there's a few things we can't do right now. Mainly, there's a hidden secret hidden under that block there, that big rock. But in the meantime, we have two little caves here we can enter. The one on the right here is going to contain two fairies and a little statue. If we run into the statue, we get the good bee. So let's release one of our fairies. Now, the good bee is, he sticks around a little longer than normal bees. Normal bees, if you release them, they will attack enemies on the screen, but only for a little bit of time. The good bee stays around a little bit longer. And there's also something else that you can do with the good bee. In future games, it's known as the golden bee. Right here was just the good bee. So we're gonna put the good bee to use in that cave that I told you about earlier. You wanna watch those crabs there because they take 2 hearts of health off you, so they're pretty dangerous. But here's the item that Sahasrahla was talking about, the ice rod. And it shoots a beam of ice straight out ahead, but it uses a lot of magic. But it's going to be, right now I think we can use 7 charges of it, and it completely depletes our magic. But it's going to be really helpful against the boss in the next palace, the desert palace. We were told there that we'd open a lock there with the Book of Medora. But maybe that's that book in the library. We're gonna go to the library a little bit later, but now that we have so many things we can do with the dash boots, let's take care of them first. So now these mold worms here, you'd have to shoot them with your arrows. Not gonna be pretty hard because they're kind of squirmy. But hey, with the good bee, we can just release the good bee, and hey, the good bee takes care of them for us. So we don't have to waste any arrows, and hey, we can catch the bee again, and we use him. Let's get a bunch of rupees off of this guy, and we'll take his treasure. We're just looting all this stuff right in front of him. He doesn't even say anything to us. Hey, and he gives us 300 rupees. We're almost maxed out at rupees, so I'm gonna make a little detour to buy some medicine from the a witch. Now, the magic shop lady who I'm gonna visit, if we would have got that mushroom earlier in the Lost Woods, back in the first episode, we could give it to her to get that magic powder that I talked about earlier, but we want to get that fortune, so this way to the Desert of Mystery. Alright, let's head in there first. So we were told we were going to meet somebody there. Hey, there's some middle-aged man. Pay no attention to him. We were told by that thief in the Lost Woods that one of their members was hiding out at the entrance to the desert. I wonder if that's him. Maybe. Yeah, I'm sure we'll find out later. There's like a little formation there of an octarock. Oh. Here's where the second pendant is, but we can't get in. We got another one of those inscriptions that we can't read. I guess that's what we're going to need the Book of Medora for. But we were also told by the fortune teller that we would meet a descendant of the wise men in the desert. And we can meet that descendant by heading into this cave right here. He has different dialogues, depending if we have the Book of Medora or not. So we're going to visit him before we get the books, just to see all his dialogue. I am Agana. I sense something is happening in the Golden Land, the Seven Wise Men seal. This must be an omen of the great catechism foretold by the Hylian blood. The prophecy says, the hero will stand in the desert with the Book of Medora. And he tells us that the book is in the village library. And if we're a true hero, we should get it. But before we get the book, let's get another piece of heart right here. Alright. And, we can head to the library now, but like I said, we're gonna make a detour to that magic shop, get a potion, and there's a few more things that we want to dash around into. I want to show off some secrets that we can get. See that little, those little like blue dots in the ground? We don't want to touch them because they're basically like buried bombs. You touch on them, basically like a landmine. You touch on them, they'll hurt you. So here's what a fairy does. She soothes your wounds and grants you comfort. Fills all your hearts up. So, but unlike the first Zelda game, we aren't able to shoot sword beams out of our sword. And I guess Zelda 2 too, when we have full life. So, all right. Let's just head back through the swamp here. We pretty much did all we can do around this area here. So, boink. Boink. Through here. And we got some trees over here we can run into, so. Boink, we run into that one, we get a fairy. And let's take out this guy here. And run into this one, and we get a green bomb. We don't want to pick that up, because that will actually blow up. Yeah, that's another thing I forgot to mention that can be picked up. And speaking of bombs, right now, your max amount of bombs you can hold is 10. Arrows 30, but there's a way to increase them later on, so. Alright, let's just head around this way here. We can dash into that tree to the right there and get another fairy, but we're full life. Just show off this part of the castle here. There's a few things we can dash into in the castle, so. We got new spear enemies there. And at the beginning of the game, the first episode, the tree to the right, I pulled on it, but nothing happened. We get hit by one of these bombs, ouch, hurts us, but hey, we can pick up an apple, and it basically functions as a heart. Unlike hearts, though, you can't pick up apples with your boomerang, so that's one difference to them, but each apple refills one heart. But now that it's no longer raining, if we pull on that tree, we can get 4 rupees. We got the blue rupees this time, so. That sign has now been changed to read, you know, if you see this man, it's the wanted man, Felfel. The wanted hamster. So we fulfilled several of the prophecies, or the fortunes that the fortune teller told us, so we should be able to get a new fortune here, but like I said, sometimes it can be, the fortune teller can be tricky and not give us a new one, even though he or she or it can do one, so let's see. Oh, no, we already got this fortune, but oh well, we'll stop by a fortune teller a little bit later. It's okay that we have enough rubies to spare, and we got a free heart refill there, so it's alright. Yeah, I'm going to that magic shop now, and like I said, if you got the mushroom earlier, we can give the mushroom to the witch at the magic shop, but that would lock us out of one of the fortunes later, so. Wow, that crab, it usually never comes this far over. So the water magic shop and the waterfall of wishing. That must be where that lady is that townsman told us to go to. But unfortunately, we're going to be blocked off from doing that because there's going to be a rock in the way that we can't move. But we can dash into this tree and get a fairy. And there's the witch there, stirring her brew. Double toil and trouble. She's making mushroom brew. But she needs a mushroom to complete it. And let's just release our fairy here. And then we can pick up a blue medicine. So red is the medicine of life, it refills our hearts. Green is the medicine of magic, and that refills our magic meter. And blue does both. So we'll just pick up some blue. And that's the lab assistant. I think in future remakes of this game, the one for the Game Boy Advance, they replace the assistant with Syrup, who's the witch's assistant in the Oracle games, which I'll eventually do a Let's Play of them. There for the Game Boy, so. But let's take out this guard here. Because we want to run into this tree and get some more apples. Fill up our life. And run into this one of these trees. Blunk. And we're gonna hop down into here. Secret cavern. And we just got a fairy spring. And this is where we'll pick up in our next episode. Thanks for following along. Take care. Have a good day. Bye.